Encounter Practice 2 in the Surrendering Guide. Good work on learning the surrendering prayer. And yes, you have made an agreement between yourself and Jesus. I'm going to try to say this prayer in a meaningful way each day, at least one time during the duration of this entire study. I hope you can take that challenge to use a biblical, memorized, more and more becoming familiar prayer to expand your prayer language, your conversation with Jesus on a day-by-day basis. So you pray, you wake me at the morning watch. First thing I pray when I roll out in the morning, you wake me at the morning watch. Your glory moves me to my knees. And there it is. For our Encounter Practice 2, it's the surrendering posture practice. And this may be an opportunity for us to get out of our comfort zone a little bit. Because you're saying, hey, I'm just fine sitting down in my easy chair with my hands in my lap. Well, we're not talking about our comfort. We're talking about meaningful encounter. And God made our bodies to be receiving units, eyes to hear, ears to hear, hearts to discern His very presence, as we're learning about with our GPS, the gift of present sense. So with the posture practices, I like how Paul says it to Timothy here on your page 63, 53. I want men and women everywhere to lift up holy hands in prayer. And you'll see a dozen different passages here from the Bible demonstrating different kinds of posture practice that can be meaningful in our encounter with the Lord. So you have some journaling exercises here where 3 times during the days ahead, you're going to take a little time with your pen or your pencil and write down the day, the date, the time, and which of those posture practices you chose, and what it was like to experience that. Was it helpful or maybe not? And by the end of the period of time when you come together with your mentoring partner and you talk about these experiences, there may be one that's going to become a part of your journey with Jesus for the rest of your life. I hope so. I hope you'll stretch out and get a little bit creative. And then turn over the page to the part of learning about Peter's transformation. And I really believe you're going to love this teaching, even though you're surely familiar with Peter and Jesus' call on his life. But if you look at the little timeline that's there in the bright blue color, if you turn a couple pages into the material, you'll see what happens as Peter's life kind of adds up here with Jesus. 3 years of actual in the person with Jesus, in the room. I can hear his voice. I can feel his touch. First 3 years. And then that should have been enough for Peter, right? But it led up to that night before the crucifixion when Peter, against his very own words, couldn't keep his confidence. He betrayed the trust. He denied Jesus. And that fateful moment when Luke tells us that Jesus and Peter made eye contact across the courtyard right after the rooster crowed for the 3rd time. So 3 days of torture for Peter and then 40 days of Jesus on the planet. And how did that fit into Peter's life? And then 7 days waiting for the coming of the Holy Spirit at Pentecost. And then what happened in the journey of Peter's transformation? Oh, I got my page corner turned down and I got my 5-star markings at the top of 63. The result of all of this journey with Peter post-resurrection and post being filled with the person of Christ and the Holy Spirit. I love this right there in 1 Peter. He's writing, if you are insulted because of the name of Christ, you are blessed, for the Spirit of glory and of God rests on you. What happened, Peter? That's the transformation of Peter that we want to understand, because that's our journey. We have different periods in our history. Times we've been sitting in church. Times some of us grew up with parents who are Christians. Times when we've been influenced in a big way by different things. But there are steps in that journey, in that timeline of transformation with Jesus. And right now, while you're working your way through the Sacred Arts series, you're in one of the biggest, most impactful segments seasons of your life of transformation in the relationship with Jesus. I'm so excited for you. God bless you as you work through this excellent material. And when you get to that time with your mentoring partner, you're going to be lifting holy hands and praising God for what he's doing in your life.